Let's learn the structure of nucleus. The structure of nucleus in both plant and animal cell is same. There is only a difference in the position of the nucleus, where the nucleus is present. Because in case of plant cell, the nucleus is present close to the periphery like this. If this is a plant cell, the nucleus is present at the periphery because most of the space is occupied by the nucleus is present at the periphery. Most of the space is occupied by a vacuole. In case of an animal cell, if this is an animal cell, the nucleus is present at the center. Except for the difference in the position of nucleus, there is no difference in the structure of nucleus between plant and animal cell. It's almost same. Okay. The nucleus consists of a double layered membrane. This is the outer membrane of nucleus and this is the inner membrane of the nucleus. Both these membranes are discontinuous. That means it is not a continuous membrane. It is a discontinuous because here and there are openings. These are all openings of nucleus. Since it is opening of nucleus, it is called as nuclear pore. This is membrane of nucleus, so it is called as nuclear membrane. What is present inside the cell, the jelly-like substance, is called as cytoplasm. What is enclosed inside the cell membrane is cytoplasm. So what is enclosed inside the nuclear membrane is nucleoplasm. See how easy it is to remember the names also. Labeling is very easy, not just the diagram. Labeling is also easy, isn't it? Now, there is a dense body that is present inside the nucleus. In the nucleoplasm, there is a dense body that is present. And this dense body does not have a membrane. There is no layer like this. There is no membrane around it. It is not bound by a membrane. This dense body is called as nucleolus. This is called as nucleolus. Okay. And there are two different types of nucleic acids that are present in nucleus. They are RNA and DNA. RNA is present in the nucleolus. RNA is ribonucleic acid, whereas DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid. DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid and RNA is ribonucleic acid. RNA is present here. It synthesizes ribosomes. The ribosomes that are synthesized by nucleolus pass out of this nuclear pore and enter into the cytoplasm. If this is a cytoplasm, they enter into the cytoplasm and remain freely in the cytoplasm, or sometimes they may remain attached to the endoplasmic reticulum and also. Okay. Wherever they are present, the ribosomes have only one function, that is protein synthesis. The function of ribosomes is only protein synthesis. So that is the function of RNA. What is this? This chromatin network-like substance that is present. This is the network-like substance that is present is nothing but chromatin. This is made up of DNA. The DNA generally in the interphase stage, that is the cell when it is in the resting stage. So during that particular period, this will be in the form of a network. Suppose if you take a wool ball and then take out all those threads of it, and it looks like an entangled mass, isn't it? Entangled mass, something like this. So this also looks like exactly like that. That's why it is called as chromatin network. And what is this made up of? This chromatin network is made up of DNA. Okay. This DNA will condense and then just before cell division, this will wind around each other, condense it and then form a rod-like structures and attain a specific shape called as chromosomes. Like this it becomes called as chromosomes. So this shape we find it only before cell division. Otherwise, under the normal conditions, for majority of the time, the chromosomes, the DNA will be in this form, in the form of chromatin network. And what is this chromosome made up of? This chromosome is made up of DNA and proteins. Okay. A functional segment of chromosome. This is one segment. Segment means you know it, you have learned it in your maths. Segment is part of the whole, isn't it? A functional segment of DNA is called as gene. So genes are linearly arranged on this chromosome. This is another gene, this is another gene, this will code for one more. That means this may code for color of the eye, this may code for the shape of the eye, this may code for another character of the eye. Okay, the number of rods, cones, etc. So the functional segment of chromosome is called as a gene, and each gene has a particular definite function to perform. And the nucleus of a cell is called as the control center of the cell. It is called as the control center of the cell because it will control all the activities of the cell, including when the cell will divide, and then what the cell will become upon maturation, what are the proteins or hormones, or how much amount of hormones are to be produced by the cell. All such things are decided by the nucleus, the genetic material that is present in the cell. This DNA, this is genetic material that is present. This DNA will carry information, that is the heredity information, from one generation to another generation is passed on through this DNA. Okay, because this will have information which it can pass on to from one generation to another generation.